for the Getting Outdoors podcast, Town Country United Bank Lake Millis Ferry Weekend Hunting and Fishing Report. A weekly update on water conditions, ramp events, generating schedule, what's biting, and seasonal hunting information with outdoor reporters Joe Allen Dunn, Kevin Sims, and Shane Jones. This weekly hunting and fishing report is brought to you by the good folks at Town Country United Bank in Camden, Alabama, serving their customers for over 40 years. Town Country United Bank's highest priority is satisfied customers. Now, here's your weekend Lake Millis Ferry hunting and fishing report.
Bigfoot, baby. Another one on the B&B Silver Shade. Team Bigfoot in the house.
Shane Jones, crappie. All right, Kevin, we've got a little fog delay this morning. What's the game plans today?
We headed to Bug's Roost. Gonna put the smack down on the big blue cat.
Get up and let everybody see that smackdown jersey, son.
That's right, nice, ain't it?
Got him. That's a good one, Kevin.
First one, 2023, smack down.
We were having too much fun on New Year's Day, Kevin. We laid it on, didn't we, Bubba?
It was. That was an awesome day. Pretty day. I mean, the Lord blessed us with the best possible day fishing.
It sure did. Hey, welcome everybody to the Getting Outdoors podcast, 199 Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing Report. Just got through doing an awesome interview with Daniel Bumgardner with Wildlife Management Solutions about planning your game plots. I know it's January. I know it's in the middle of the deer season and jugging season and crappie season, but you have to get a hold of old Daniel when you can because he stays so darn busy, and he brought us a wealth of information. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Shane Jones is in the house. How you doing, my friend?
Doing great this evening, buddy. Doing great.
You had a pretty good weekend this weekend also.
Yeah, I had a good week and a weekend. It was
Me
good.
and Evan, we had a good weekend. What about you, Joe Allen?
Oh, I had a wonderful weekend.
You did some good cooking. I will
You and the
tell you.
grandkids had fun. I had more fun with them than anything you can imagine.
Yeah, that's what somebody said when I put those pictures up the other day. They said Joe Allen came in first because he had the most kids in the boat. Kevin, your mama's watching.
That was Lance. Yeah, Lance said that.
Miss Dottie's tuned
I tell
in.
you what, Big Daddy, I've done decided that next year we're going to swap places. I'm going to take Kevin, and you're going to take Jesse and Fisher. How about that?
No, if you take Kevin, I'm getting in a boat with Travis. That's what I'm gonna do. Well, he done lost.
No. You got to take Jesse and Fisher and answer 10,000 questions.
You know, in 2020 and 2021 and 2022, I fished by myself. You know.
Yeah.
So having Kevin in the boat with me just taught me something. I know how you catch them now. I know how you catch all them catfish now.
Well, Kevin has tweaked it a whole lot.
Well, I'm gonna tell you about Kevin. He can throw those jugs. He can throw those jugs out.
Oh yeah.
He is the best that I've ever been around. And I gotta say, I'm gonna pat myself on the back a little bit too. I'm a pretty darn good boat driver, ain't I, Kevin?
We did good up at them bad stuff. We did good. Did really good.
We was in the middle of some stumps too. Old Todd Prater's tuned in, Jared Hudson, Rusty got bowl, old Big Mama Brown.
You got to have a stainless steel prop though, Big Dick. 'Cause I got a few more places that's rougher than that. So you got to have a stainless steel prop before we go back in there.
Yeah. David and Miss Dottie tuned in. Bud Williamson, good afternoon. Wayne Edgeworth, Mike Fuller, them old slab busters are tuned in. Noonan Hall up in Natchez, Mississippi. Appreciate everybody tuning in this afternoon. Timothy Hatcher, how you doing? He said, Big Shane. He hollering out at you, Shane.
Yeah, that's old my buddy Tim. Oh, yeah.
All right, let's see what we got. I just got a text from Travis Powell, and he says that 15 gates are open and looks like 11. There's 15 gates open, looks like 11 cracked open and 4 opened on up. So they have opened those gates.
But the readings I looked at, by Sunday, it's still rising Sunday. And it's going to a minor flood by Sunday. And it wasn't crest till maybe Monday or Tuesday.
And that's below the dam?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mine stopped. It was off the chart. It was past 55, but it didn't ever show. It didn't. I couldn't get it to go out any further on the projection.
Well,
we're probably looking between 55 and 60 for sure.
Yeah, so it ain't even no use to call the powerhouse and because they gonna have all them gates open and running everything around the clock if they can run them. If the water,
it's probably gonna get borderline when they can't generate because there ain't enough fall to turn generator.
Right, it's going to minor flood.
Yeah. All right, y'all help me with these water temperatures, Shane. I'm saying, and this is the widest range I've seen it. I'm saying from 50 to 58 degrees in the river and from 48 to 56 degrees in the slough. Is that pretty close?
Yeah, I think I seen it from 50 that morning to 54, 55, on the main river.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember that. Now, the creek I went in, it was a little cooler, but I'm trying to remember where it was.
Yeah.
It was about 50. It's 50 to 55 is pretty good, average. I mean, I'd say.
Yeah. 50 to 55.
That's a good temperature for it to be this time of year. So.
Well, me and Big Daddy were fishing. The slough was actually warmer than the river when we fished.
Yeah, that slough I went in first thing Saturday before that storm hit. It was cool. It's 48, 49 in there that morning, Saturday morning.
And to prove that, me and Kevin saw one little alligator on the bank, but we saw a ball hog going across this.
That thing's a big one.
He was a big.
It was 51, 52 degrees when we looked at it in the slough, and it was like 49, 50 in the river the Sunday morning early,
But we had a wide weather range, that water's so cold and the weather. And then when it warmed back up, that's why we had all that fog. It's creating heat again, and it was crazy. It's wanting to fluctuate back and forth. So
Monday was crazy. That fog left and then come back in at 1:00 Monday evening. It was crazy.
Fish
slap off, buddy.
It came back in the middle of the day.
It shut them fish. I'm talking about off. Like, I mean, it's like you pulled the plug on. Up to about 11 o'clock, they were smoking it pretty good. And then 1 o'clock came, it just cut it off.
Well, I told Big Daddy, it was the Sunday morning fog, it was like, it wasn't about 40 foot off the water, the sky was clear.
Yeah.
It just like in front of, where the fog coming from the river, but it was I ain't never done good on largemouth when it was foggy. Spots it was largemouth don't like the fog.
They were biting good Sunday when that sun was out, man. They were biting, golly. They were smoking it. And then, Monday when we got down there, it was foggy as far as crappie, and they were eating okay, but when 1 o'clock came, that was it.
You got your number one fan on here, Kevin, Brian Cannon. He said Big Pimpin' Sims is in the house. All right, let's go to the Town Country United Bank hunting and fishing report. We're going to start off with the catfish, and let's kind of talk about our New Year's Day. Kevin, me and you I've heard every excuse from grandchildren to my partner didn't want to go fishing. I done heard.
I did. Hell, I'd ought to be legitimate shit.
I'm talking about Travis. Travis said Bailey didn't want to go, and he, so I guess y'all can't fish if you ain't got your grandchildren. Or if you got
Travis made the adjustment. He did catch a few.
He did.
Yeah.
He come out good.
Yeah, he come out all right.
But anyhow, for those of you that listen that might not know, we have got, and it's not a competition. Well, I guess it is a competition for bragging.
Right?
Yeah.
We go every first day of the year and throw out some jugs. We've been doing it now 4 years in a row, and we have always caught some good fish. But we ain't never caught as many as we caught big ones like we did in 2020. But me and Kevin, we had a pretty good day.
Had some good ones.
Yeah, we're probably 2 weeks off. Probably this weekend or next weekend, the same spots we fished is going to be. We'll be looking like that 2020 picture, 2019, whatever it is.
I got the pictures up there now. The top left is 2020, 2021, 2022, and then, of course, this past weekend. And that is the results. And you can see the top left versus the bottom left versus the top right. And that is the way it finished. And it was a great time. And my hat's off to Travis and Kevin for cleaning them fish and whoever cooked that wonderful meal that we had.
Whoever cooked that. Whoever cooked that. You know who cooked that meal.
It was mighty, mighty, mighty good. But let's talk about catfishing now. Last weekend was different than this weekend is going to be. But I think the sloughs and the jugging, the short line jugging's in play, isn't it, Kevin?
Oh, yeah. But now, we put 23 jugs out in the main body of water.
Yeah.
And even if we got back there to where it was in the 6 and less, 7 and less.
Yeah.
And we didn't get fish in there.
Well, and I can tell you this.
Yeah, we didn't get fish in that area. We moved into that 2 to 4, 6, where it was really shallow. We had to deal with a few griddles, but that's where all the catfish came from.
Yeah.
And we also had some of those Cajun chicken livers, rooster livers, and we didn't get a bite on them. We didn't get we had big minnows and we didn't get a bite on them. But
the skipjacks was the way to go, and those we fished for 3.5, 4 hours, but we probably only fished about 20 jugs efficiently. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
When we moved some of yours and some of mine. We put them into that shallower water, So we probably didn't have 2.5 hours fishing time actually where we caught those 13 fish, And we didn't have any monsters this time, but that we caught really good eating fish, and we lost one jug. That Japanese submarine got one, and we never did find it.
And Joe Allen, I was telling Shane about that. That jug that jug was underwater when we went up there. It was about 6 inches underwater, and you could see the jug. And then it popped back up. It was popped back up, and I missed it with the boat. We almost had that hook on it, but it missed it, and I had to back up. And when I backed up, that jug went down about 6 inches and started moving towards the slough, and it just went out of sight. We never saw it again. I thought it was an alligator, but Joe Allen, you think it one of them big turtles?
No, big loggerhead turtle. It was going a little too slow for a gator. It wasn't going left or right. It didn't. Gator swims, his head kind of moves a little bit, underwater.
Yeah.
And I think it's a big turtle.
It was an alligator snapper turtle. What it was.
Well, it wasn't.
And we got some 100-pound turtles over there.
Yeah. Joe Allen, what were you using for bait?
I was just using shad.
Mm-hmm. We didn't have any shad, but that skipjack was a ticket. What does Stacy say about that skipjack, Kevin?
Holy Grail, smack down.
All right,
we staked them up, and we had I had 7-aught hooks on it. I said I was not looking for them little ones. We had 7-aught hooks.
Now, wait a minute. Go on, you ain't telling all your secrets, or you don't want to tell them.
Well, I did spray some crawfish spray on my string.
Oh, yeah.
Put a little, we had a little fin on top of
You
it.
done. You got a little recipe. You do.
Yeah,
been paying off.
I think the string thing does.
That string carries some scent.
Yeah.
I thought he was spraying hairspray on this. He sprayed it all the way up the rope.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it doesn't make a little oil slick. It does. I think it does help.
Yeah,
it does.
All right, so I'd say jugging this weekend. I saw a lot of people lining out in the middle of the river this week too. Now,
with this high water, jugging is going to be number one in the flats.
But I think that I've been thinking about it all week. I think if you could go just say that big slough the big finger we fished in.
Yeah.
Do you think how fun it'd be to come up there and anchor your boat down and rig up about 5 reels with corks on it?
Yeah,
and toss them out there and real fish with some chilling. That would be all. I mean, 5 to 6 pound catfish, they'll pull you out the boat, on a rod and reel. Yeah. That would be so fun.
You talking about where we caught them in a jug, go up and anchor down.
Yeah, just go and cork fish, be just like jugging, just throw them out there, and that'd be fun. You get the catfish and you get the thrill of reeling them in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. That would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
We caught Southern Grinnell, and I told Kevin to throw them in the cooler because Joe Allen likes to clean and eat them Grinnell.
I want them.
I'll never eat another.
I want them.
I had one, all of them was little, but that one real big one, he was longer than my leg. He might have been a little tough.
All right, well, jugging this weekend on Miller's Fair for crappie. I don't know if you're going to be able to get in at Ellis. You have to put in Bridgeport, probably at the state park, because that water's going to get on up there pretty good, I expect. But we'll keep you up with it. Now, crappie fishing. Shane, man, you had a good week, son.
I did. I had a blast.
Miller's Fair. Tell us what you did, because you had some good
I had a buddy of mine come up from Florida. I've been fishing with. He took a job in Florida working for a friend of ours, and he come up and we made a plan to go, and we hit we hit Demopolis, I think 2 days, and we hit Miller's Ferry 2 days. And actually 3 days. Saturday got cut short. We went to Demopolis, and the water had been up and it come back down. You can see the mud on the launches. We went out there and found some fish. I think we caught 37 out of one top. So they were fired up. Saturday, we had to throw a 30-second. They didn't want to chase the bait out of the tree. So we threw some 30 seconds. It had to take a little while to get down there. And then
now, what made you change from a 16th to a 37th, Shane?
Oh, the depth has got a lot to do with it. If it's 8, 10, 12 foot, you can throw a 30-second. But that 30-second stays in front of that fish's face longer. It's slower. It's going to stay in his face, and I don't know if it aggravates them or whatever. It just triggers him to bite because that thing's floating by him a little slower. 30-second may come by like this, I mean, a 16th and then 30 seconds is going to be half of that speed. So anytime I can't get them up off that cover, I'll throw a 30-second. And really, you're really not – all you're doing is catching that slack out of that line. You're throwing it up there, catching that slack, letting that bait just fall through the water column. You're not reeling it as much per se. You're letting the bait just kind of float. And for some reason, them fish, I don't know if they think it's a shad that's stunned or what, but they'll come up and grab it. But then that was the first trip, and we kept 46 or 47. And then the next trip we went down there, they would take a 16th out of your hand. They would just fired up more.
Yeah.
You know, I can't remember what day it was. I think we went Tuesday and through the 32nd all day on Wednesday. The days run together. We fished some more.
Well, hell, when you fish all week long, how can you keep up with it?
I can't keep up with it. I just remember the days.
Fishing and working night shift. That's like double duty there.
Right. And then the next day we threw a 16th. But anytime those fish are not active and they will not come off cover, the longer you can keep it in front of their face, the better. So that's what you have to do.
Hey, Kevin, Stacy's on here. He said that SmackDown hoodie looked good on you.
Hey, I give 50% of the credit for that daggum hoodie. I thought that's it, but just because I felt like a catfishman when I had it on.
He was dressed the part. He was dressed the part for sure. Then we came to Miller's Ferry Saturday, and we went in one of them creeks, and I didn't see a lot of fish. We caught one nice big white crappie. I got a few little nips, and I was like, well, we got to make a move. So we went down the main river and found some fish, and that dang storm started popping, and me and Tommy looked at each other like, man, I seen all that red and yellow on the radar, so we headed on out. But we went back after the next day, and we kept 50, some good ones too. I don't know if I shared that video with you. I probably did, but
yeah, I got it up on my. I think I ain't got the whole video, but I got the.
Yeah, we caught some big ones. I think our best 7 weighed 12 pounds and something. They were big, healthy, big fish. They were just them blackfish are healthy right now.
I know I come up on you that day and was hollering, "Show me something!" And you raised your hand and said, "Be quiet," and all of a sudden, wham, he come in.
Yeah, that was Tommy. Me and Tommy laughed about that for 2 days. I said, "Joe Allen, go show me something." I said, "Oh, okay." I reeled up on that fish. Whop! It was like I already had him hooked on the hook, but I didn't. It was funny, but they were biting good. Like me and Joe Allen was talking about. Everybody's. And I'll share some information just for somebody. You get a pink head jig, pink, white chartreuse right now. And those blackfish will take it out of your hand when they're biting. When they're not, it really ain't gonna matter. But you get you a pink head and get in those trees, and I'll share some other information. You're not gonna catch a lot of fish out of those trees. You're gonna pluck 1 or 2, and then that's gonna be it.
Yeah.
But I take that bait over them fish, not in them. I take it even in those trees. I take it over them and get the hot fish to come up, and then I'm on the next cast. I'm gonna go in them. And that'll help you pick up a few more fish. And once you give it a few minutes, you might as well move on and come back or try to repeat that pattern somewhere else, because you're not going to catch a lot of fish out of one tree, right now. That day we caught them 37. They were just fired up in Demopolis. But Miller's Ferry, you're going to pick 2 or 3 fish up off of the trees. I got a picture I can share with people what they look like under a limb on the live scope in here. If I can find it here, let's see. I don't know if I can show her.
Well, Shane.
Yeah.
Shane, tell me, you was telling me that you think that a lot of those fish in a lot of them trees on the river, sometimes a lot of them are just resting. And you picked up some,
those fish under that limb.
And you got to hunt those fish are out roaming right in front of the tree.
Right. They're in front of those trees. You see those fish on that camera, on that lens right there?
Yeah.
Those are 2-pound crappie under a limb. Uh-oh. And the reason being, I know because I caught several of them. But they're laying under that limb, so I'm going to take that bait right over that limb. I'm not going to go in them first. And one of them fish may come up. Matter of fact, I caught 2 of those. And then, like I said, they'll take off and run out there and make a circle and come right back to that limb or go to the next tree. They know because they're hunting bait right now. They're trying to feed up because the eggs are growing in them. They're fired up. It's like a crappie rut to me. It's funny, but you can make it whatever acronym you want for it. But it's like they're rutting right now. They're paired up, and you'll catch one. They'll spread out off that tree, then they'll go right back together. Mm-hmm. But that's what they look like on that scope, and them's big fish. So
Big Daddy, let's talk about that. We talk about the bait. We done had it 2 or 3 times. The cold weather. We done had the shed die off, our winter time die off. You know, I think it was a little heavier than normal because of the shad's been a little scarce.
It pushed them out. It pushed them out in that river, Kevin. They're
that's what I was getting at. It pushed them fish out there because it wasn't the shallow waters where the die off hit the hardest.
That's exactly right. They did. I found a bunch, and there was a bunch of stripe down there, and I think them fish worked together. Those stripe pushed those shad around, and them crappie are waiting up there with them. They're working together. You can see them all unfold, and then you get some big catfish come through there, and then here comes a spoonbill. He's doing his thing, but it's weird how they all work together. I mean, you can see those stripe down there. They're moving. They're long, and they're feeding like crazy, but they're out there on certain parts of that river, not all up and down it, but there's some fish in certain spots.
Well, it's fish. I'm telling you, Brandon Threadgill had a good day on Miller's Ferry. Chris and Bill Blunt, he went twice and nailed them. And I'm telling you, it is no shortage of crappie on Lake Miller's Ferry.
You got to stay moving. You got to stay moving on that river. You're not going to be able to homestead at a place and catch a lot of fish. I mean, that's just. You know,
it's not easy fishing. I mean, it's fishing.
No, by far. No, it is not springtime running the banks fishing. You got to have some patience, a lot of patience. You know, I call myself not having any, but comes to fishing, I got a lot. So
look who just tuned in. Brandon Threadgill's tuned in.
Yeah, he had 15 something with 7 fish, and that's giants. He had 2.5, a bunch of 2s. That just tells you they're healthy as they can be. So.
And now talk about that video that John Farmer put up with that kid, Cam Kyler. Where's he fishing, Shane?
He's fishing down around his house in Andalusia. They fish Lake Jackson, and he fishes some lakes by his house. But he told me that kid, he's 11 years old, and his daddy has a live scope, but his daddy trolls and stuff. So he really don't fish like John and I do, or Eric or Brandon. But he said that kid picked up and started hammering fish, and he's like, he kind of looked over. He's like, man, what's going on here? He said that kid was catching them 4 or 5 in a row. Just, you know, he really listened well. He's got him a rod like John Farmer does. And John said he's going to be hell when he gets older.
Hey, Captain Troy's tuned in. We enjoyed them oysters this weekend, didn't we, Joe Allen? Can y'all hear me?
Do what?
I said, Captain Troy's tuned in. Can y'all?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I said
oysters was awesome.
Yeah,
the oysters was good.
We ate them, and I got some coming tomorrow.
I said I had 2 big eatings out of mine. One of them I took them down to Mama's, and we had the second half of them. Me and my brother and David and Mama ate them after they had done to eat the whole quart. The other quart I took down there to them.
Well, I ate a whole quart by myself. And my brother Tommy, I gave my brother Tommy one. He fried that quart up today, and we ate them today at dinner here too. So I'm about oystered out. All right, but
I'm not oystered out. I'm not.
No.
Porterville Bay Oyster Company. If you want some good oysters, that's where they come from. I guarantee you. Captain Troy and Becky Z, they know that seafood. All right, Kevin.
That's the most unusual operation and unique. I mean, it's a state-of-the-art oyster fishing. That's what it is. State-of-the-art oyster fishing.
All right, so this weekend, if you're coming to Miller's Ferry, that water in that river's gonna be out of play, ain't it, Shane?
Yeah, I would say so. I'm not gonna say some ain't pushed up in some eddies like you and Joe Allen talked about a lot. If you can find those spots, you'll have to catch some. I imagine it's gonna push them up in the creeks. Wherever the shad go, that's where they're going. So I mean, they're not gonna be far from that bait.
Exactly.
Where the bait is, that's right.
That's right.
Shane, they gonna go hitting them spots where you was catching them at last year on up in them sloughs.
Oh yeah, they'll push back in there. People don't realize. I mean, them things will move. I mean, while me and all us are working,
the bass are going to move. Everything's going to move. I mean, it's going to be the river's going to be it's going to be 15, 20 knots of water going down through there on the lower.
I was surprised at them big crappie. I caught a 2-pounder, and that thing was in the current. And I told Tommy, I said, man, this fish, he didn't give a crap about that current. He didn't. Hey, he come in there and done what he wanted to. You know, that fish did. So I was shocked at the current.
When you got normal current,
You got good-
you got
you had
generator
good weather.
current like it. You know, they can get behind one stump or one log, and there ain't no
right.
current. And a lot of people don't realize you got a big stump. Sometimes them fish will set up 6 foot from it because the eddy will be that
That's
far.
right. Yeah,
actually.
if you can find those big old stumps or those big root balls, you know, I see people post. That's what you're looking at. I was sure I got a picture of one on here. If you can ever find one of these, right here. I'm gonna show everybody this. That's what a stump looks like right there. That is a big stump of crappie sitting behind it.
Yeah. And then them fish are probably 5 foot past it.
Oh yeah, they're getting all they'll come up and get them something and go back down. I mean, the only thing is you're gonna have to have some heavy weight to get down there to them. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's got it's the timing. You know, it ain't really how heavy it is, but if you take it too long, it'll be past it too far.
That's exactly right. That's gonna be tough fishing, but heck, you know, you can't catch them at home. If you learn something at high water, you can fish for them a lot because we get a lot of high water this time of year.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be time to move in those sloughs and with that muddy water now, pushing them up, using that black and chartreuse, Reuben Floyd jig. That's what they're going to be going for.
It's coming.
Bet you now.
That's what I was going to ask you. What color in this muddy water, Shane?
Oh man, like he said, black and chartreuse, white and chartreuse. You know, you might want to use a bigger bait just to displace some more water. Where those fish can use their lateral lines and put you some scent. I put a lot of scent on my jig. I've been doing that a lot here lately. You know, they make that bait pop now. You can put it on your line like y'all was doing that crawfish spray. And I use a lot of that stuff when that water gets dirty. Just if any advantage I can get, I'm gonna try it.
What about an underspin, Shane? With the water muddy?
I wouldn't. That probably bite it too. I've used them before. You know, whatever you catch, you get confidence in it. That fish is going to tell you, especially when you can watch it on live scope. I mean, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it don't take many casts. Watch one turn on, you change up.
No, that's right. That's bass fishing too. If you can watch them react to your bait, they're going to tell you what they want.
All right, talk about bass fishing, Kevin. I hadn't got anything on my calendar to February bass fishing, but I see a lot of bass fishermen out there. What's this high water going to do this week? If you want to go bass fishing this weekend, what you going to do? Are those A-rigs, those diamond bait A-rigs still in play?
Well, yeah, the temperature is right, you know, but like you're going to have to get in your deeper sloughs to do that, where you fish your secondary points, you know, adjacent to the river and all, where those fish are going to start pushing out of the river because of the current. Your spots, though, technically, they don't like as dirty a water as largemouth, but they still, you know, they're going to like, if you find that magic eddy in the river, they're going to all be there. But it's going to be like finding that spot. They're going to move into the sloughs, some of your bigger sloughs where you got 2 or 3 major secondary points where you got 15, 16 foot of water adjacent to it. They'll move up there and feed wherever the shad goes. The sloughs where the shad move to, that's where the fish are going to go. A-rig, I would say probably once you move into the, 15 and less, 10, 12 foot of water, like, maybe your swim bait's going to be better. But now I think, if you go and look at your moon phases and on your calendar and stuff like that with your peak feed time, because there's fish that don't never leave shallow water. There's fish that don't never leave deep water. I think you can probably go around the bank in some of these sloughs and catch fish on a spinnerbait or chatterbait, which I like chatterbait when the water's cold. And I think you can catch some of those fish, off the banks, just the springtime fishing. They might be hitting between, the boat and the bank. They might not be on the bank, but it'll be on those same patterns, fishing. But it's going to be the cut fishing is going to be really tough unless it's one of those cuts where it's got the secondary legs where you got your main drop off and then it's got a secondary drop off going into it. And there's a few of those at Miller's Ferry, but your main drop offs in the river are going to be hard to fish. It's going to be hard to set up on them. Even if the fish are down there, it's going to be hard to set up on them unless you try to go shallow and throw deep.
Forgot about our old time pig and jig The water's getting that cold.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. You don't see a lot of people throwing a lot of pork, but the pork is way more forgiving in the cold water. Your rubber gets a little, and rubber's really changed so much. It's not as much as it used to be. You got so much live rubber, and the skirts are better on your jigs and spinnerbaits. But pork is always a cold water thing. But because it reacts better than you get some old Uncle Josh, you can find one. That's tough. Like that muddy water with that damn orange with the black spots on it. That's tough. That's tough.
Hey, and that place we were jugging Sunday, Kevin, back in the 70s. That's where I used to win a lot of bass tournaments back in those fingers back there in the spring of the year, throwing them 1/4 ounce hammered nickel spinnerbaits, boy. Them darn bass tore them up back up in there.
Yeah, I took my daddy up in there whenever I finally broke him from deer hunting. He told me, I said, "This is Buzzer Roost, Daddy." He said, "No." He said, "It was trees in here last time I came." I said, "All these stumps was trees, Daddy."
All right, let's go to the small game, man. Wood ducks. Brayson Manus just nailed some wood ducks down in Monroe County. Brody sent me a picture from Nebraska, Kevin. He had they killed some good ducks. Is he bringing them home for the camp chef?
I don't know. I didn't even ask him, man. I forgot about that. He come to the house and stayed with me the other afternoon, and that they killed 8 or 9 big ducks every day, but they killed like 10, 11, 12 Canadian geese. And I think I was looking at them. I think they was killing greater Canadians in Nebraska. I don't think it was lesser. They was a monsters.
Yeah. Well, y'all gonna
That's
cook
the grain-fed ones there.
Yes, I like to try to cook one of them.
Yeah, I'd love to have
mud-fed ones. They pretty bloody. They ain't much. They hard to cook.
Hey, I see Arnold Holtz on here. He was in the bass club with me back in the 70s. He said back in the day, I was a pretty good bass fishing. You were too, Arnold. Jimmy Lovingood, Hank Sims, Harry Hooper, Harry Ratcliffe. We had a hell of a bass. Tommy Henderson. We had a heck of a bass club back in the 70s, boy. But now
I'm good. Miller Ferry was pretty stout when they first flooded, wasn't it?
That's right. That's right.
As good as anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Coach Doggett told me I was about a 9th grader. He told me one day we was in driver's ed. We go on driving down the road. He said, I'm probably the luckiest man in the world. I got to fish Coffeyville the day that the year they flooded, and I got to fish Miller Ferry the year they flooded.
Oh,
he said it was unreal to fish.
All right, let's talk about deer hunting a minute. The deer are in full rut in Wilcox County. I don't know about Clark County or Marengo County.
Everywhere.
Huh?
Everywhere they're in full rut.
They had the second of 3 big doe contests with the Wilcox Area Chamber Big Buck Contest this weekend. First place, Danny Jordan. All right, I'm finna tell you, because you remember what you picked last week, Kevin?
I can't remember. I think it was 140 something, wasn't it?
No, you picked 131. I picked 141. Okay. And you picked 131, and we gave Joe Allen 114.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I gave.
Danny Jordan won $500 with 130-pound doe. So you Gary Sluter had second place with 127 pounds, and third place was a 3-way tie with Owen Rouse, my buddy up in Dallas County. He had 116 pounds, Craig Gamble 116, and Breanne Carney 116. So those
was close too.
Well, it's all this corn now. We getting to feed them all we want to. We're gonna have some big ones.
Yeah, now the corn's not going to fatten them up like these feeds. These multigrain, with the soybean hulls and all that. This rack max or antler max, what do they call it? That's where this fat's coming. Corn to keep one alive, but it ain't gonna grow no horn.
I don't know that block that Rick Pipkins is putting out, that protein block. They eating the heck out of it, and it's got all kind of stuff. It ain't nothing but sugar.
That's good. But you put one in the pen and feed him corn, he'll starve to death. He'll go up drive the real.
Yeah, corn like a Snicker bar to him.
That's right. That's like look, just a little crack.
Any rodeo news, Kevin?
Well, we'll start back with the college stuff in March, and me and Bro talked about the other day that we may make a rodeo run here in the next month too. That we probably going to Biloxi and watch the PCA finals, but their season started back over. We probably going to buy a card. He probably going to do a little of the PCA pro rodeo stuff, but that we ain't got no definite plan. But the college stuff we start back in March, and I think we go to Arkansas the first one, and UT Martin the second one.
Okay. Joe Allen, John Sports. All your folks are sick, so you there? You got any specials? Anything you trying to get rid of stuff after Christmas sale? You got
we got a lot of stuff there on the sale rack. A lot of Drake heavy winter clothes. Come by and look. We got a lot of the stuff that you need right now as far as hunting. The tinks, the cold blue, the wildlife research. We got all that. Grunt calls. Everybody, even though it's done turned hot, don't mean the deer done quit. They are in full rut. You need all this rut gear now. You need all your scents, your calls, everything.
Joe Allen's got tinks. Everybody's running out of tinks. Joe Allen's got tinks and some what's the one in the spray can? The scent something.
Well, we got tinks in the aerosol, and we got the cold blue and
cold blue.
Yeah.
But hey, Joe Allen, Kevin. Travis wants to know you got any of that spray that to put on your bait because you need
it. Tell him I have inquired about that, and I've called my boys down to the coast, and I got some menhaden oil coming for the jugging trip in February the 18th, and I've got. I've been sitting there. Kevin's been giving me some pointers what I need to put on my bait, and I'm gonna get some menhaden oil and some of his stuff, and I'm gonna be ready.
Well, I'm curious to know this, and I'm just asking. You ain't got to answer it if you don't want to. I'm hearing we got some conflict in the team Bigfoot team and the team D Hooker team. I mean, are y'all gonna be able to put a team together for the 18th?
Who?
Bigfoot team Bigfoot.
Well,
I hear you.
I am recruiting members for Team Bigfoot.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I am.
I heard.
And if I can bring an old student back in to help me, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, well, I heard that, and I hear that.
I think they need to get Coach Rowell come back in this console, and Joe Allen do the jug and let Coach Rowell drive the boat.
No.
Well,
hell, y'all know I'm too fat. I'll be a fella out in the boat trying to get the jug.
Travis said he's trying to recruit him.
Are you gonna fish in the February tournament?
Me?
Yeah.
No. I'm not gonna fish in it. You gonna fish?
Well, me and Lauderdale gonna fish, but now you team Getting Outdoors are welcome to get the boat. Me and Lauderdale.
I ain't getting in it. If the only way I'm gonna be in a boat is drive the boat. I'm gonna let y'all.
You can drive the boat. You can drive the boat.
Well, we'll talk about it.
Wait a minute now. If he don't want y'all, I'll take y'all. Y'all welcome to ride.
me and Lauderdale, we already done made a plan. We got the night before already figured out.
Well, the tournament is coming up February 18th.
Pretty unique.
Yep.
CT Ward Power Sport and Dunn Sports is sponsoring it February the 18th out of Roland Cooper State Park. This will be the third jugging contest. I hadn't seen the rules and all, but they'll have it out pretty darn quick. I think they're going to have it out this week. All right, everybody, we got to go.
Thank you. CT Ward's getting all printed up.
Thank you for all that information, Shane, and everybody.
Yeah, I didn't remind everybody. I'm going to be on the Warrior River Outdoor page tomorrow night at 7. Got a question and answer thing.
Yes,
so
yes, and I
on that page. Y'all can. I don't care if it's simple lines.
What's it called, Shane?
It's a Warrior River Outdoor page
on Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook. I'm doing it tomorrow night at 7. I done it a few months ago and it went real well. And people, you can't be scared to ask any questions. I don't care if it's simple all the way to a live-scope question. So if you want to know and I know it, I'm gonna try to tell you. So
all right, don't try to watch it.
I got a question, Shane. When you come to the house and help me hook up, put that unit, you gonna sell me in my boat?
I was thinking it's sitting right there behind me on the shelf. All we gotta do is hook your power wire up. So it'll be soon here. I guess next couple of weeks. If I knew I was coming down like I was, we would have done it then. But
yeah.
But if I used my head Saturday when that storm, I'd have went to your place and waited it out, and then I went back. But I didn't use my head.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Kevin, I enjoyed the heck out of our fishing trip last Sunday, man. I'll be talking about that.
Can't wait to go again.
I can't either. Shane, thank you again for being
here. Yes, sir.
Here.
Thank y'all.
Joe Allen, thank you. We'll see y'all next week, same time.
I got one more thing, Big Daddy.
All right, come on.
That daggum Tom Cruise ain't got nothing on Big Daddy flying no drone. He flew that flying like a F-16. I dove in the boat one time. I thought the thing was gonna run into me.
Yeah, but the thing about that drone, I got it. About the time I got it up, them jugs started going under. And I
heard one. That's right. I think how fast will it go, Big? I bet it going 60 miles an hour.
No, it won't. About 28 miles an hour. It's just so little.
It looked faster than that when it was coming right in my head.
It's like them blue wing teal. You think they flying so fast because it's so little.
That thing was hauling butt.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Y'all stand by. See y'all next week.
Pap taught me every critter's track and how to set a hair trigger on a trap. He taught me to shoot, scale, and skin and make a snare with a leather strap. He taught me to be a part of the woods and all his woodsy tricks. Said you gotta walk soft on 2 light feet and try not to break no stick. I thank Daddy for my savvy, how to hunt and how to carry anything that I might need to get a piece of skillet meat. How to walk and how to hide, how to crawl and how to slide, how to sneak, stalk and climb and do it all on 2 light feet.